Hello, welcome back. So this is just going to be a quick episode. I'm just going to do a quick addition to my first episode talking about my transition. This is going to be a little more in-depth on my transition, and I'm going to show some pictures of my transition timeline and my journey so far. So if you are new, I do have a podcast called Poised and Petty, where I talk about my transition from male to female, boy to babe. It is basically a podcast diary about my transition, what I'm going through. I post weekly. Right now, mostly about my transition, but I hope to expand into fashion, beauty, makeup, self-development, and just working towards being graceful, unstoppable, and petty enough to keep things interesting. So if you want to follow along on that journey, podcast, it's everywhere where you can get podcasts. Otherwise, if you're watching this on YouTube, it is on YouTube as well. That has a video version. So yeah, I guess let's get into it. Okay, so we are going to start. So here is my photos from when I was in elementary school. So we've got 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade, you can see here. Yeah, I started growing my hair out in 4th grade, 3rd grade. I got a perm. Yep, I got a perm when I was a kid. I really liked having long hair and growing that out and always changing it and dyeing my hair when I was younger. Very grateful for my parents for letting me do that. Yeah, when I was very young, I want to say even around 2nd, 3rd grade, probably before that, when I had birthdays, my parents, they told me that, blow out the candles, make a wish, and don't tell anyone your wish, otherwise it won't come true. And I remember wishing that I would wake up and be a girl the next day, which it didn't take until I was in my 20s to kind of accept that and start working towards that. Yeah, so 8th, 9th, and 10th grade, kind of started getting a haircut in high school. But before that, I always preferred that longer hair. And I remember, I think it was 4th grade, I got called a girl a few times, which did not bother me, but I did notice that it did bother my dad, I believe. So, he wasn't upset, he just corrected the person. But yeah, I remember being called a girl, and it did not bother me at all. Yeah, that is me. Yeah. And then in high school, kind of had that short hair and kind of went with that. And then in high school, that's me with my Letterman jacket. That's me working at a summer camp. Yeah. So that was just me in high school, hanging outside a lot. Yeah, at the moment, I think in high school, I did have a girlfriend for the majority of my time at high school. And it wasn't until the army, after graduating high school, was when I started realizing that I was more attracted to boys, which is still true today. So here was me, signed up for the army, getting out, heading out. Let me see some pictures. Yeah, so here was me before, right when I got into the army, very skinny, which I would like to get back to that size again. And then this was me after I got out of the army. So I was the typical person that trans femme who previously went into lifting and getting large and working out and being very physical, which was kind of part of my job being in the army. Yeah, so there's me graduating boot camp, visiting home one time. Yeah, this was in, I think we watched the new Star Wars movie. Yeah. This was, I forgot what year this was. Yeah, so there was me in the army. So the time when I was in the army was I hooked up with the first guy I was with, and then I think I hooked up with 2 or 3 guys total when I was in the army, and I was definitely had like internalized homophobia that I was dealing with, and at the time, like, I felt guilty, and I really tried my best to like suppress that, and I did not deal with it, and it didn't come out until I was after the army, where I decided to work on that. So here was me getting out right out of the army. This was 2017. Yeah, 2017, beginning of 2018. Got out of the army. First thing you do when you're out is you grow that beard. So I had a beard, I worked out a lot. That's kind of all I knew. I was a personal trainer for a little bit. Yeah, these are just old pictures. Yeah, this was just like a not super happy time. You could tell I was just kind of dead in the eyes. Yeah, so this was just me. And then at the time, my partner, so at this time, I was talking to some other trans people online, kind of about their experiences, what they were feeling, what was going on with them. And I was very secretive about that. And I started being protective of my phone, trying to hide it from my partner, right? And she did end up going through my phone and figuring out what I was doing or talking about. And so she was like, "Oh, so you want to be a girl?" And it was like in a matter of a week where we kind of talked about it. She did not want to be with a woman. She did not want to be with a feminine man. She did not like that like feminine energy at all. She liked masculine men, right? So that relationship ended up not working out. And at the moment, I did not know, but she did text my parents about what happened and how I wanted to be a girl, and that was kind of why we ended up breaking up. Yeah, that's definitely not cool or something you should do, outing someone. So I didn't know that my parents knew for about a year or 2 afterwards, which is when I came out and told them. Did come out, I did shave my beard and trying to start playing with makeup, and I think this is the last picture I've taken without my shirt off before starting hormones. So this was 2018, the last time where I could take my shirt off in public. Yeah, so I started growing my hair out, playing with makeup a little bit. This is the first pair of pants I've ever sewed, so I was very proud of those. Yeah. I started dyeing my hair. This was like a purplish. Get my nails done, which was very scary, going to a nail salon and asking to get my nails done. I was so anxious and so scared, but I love having my nails done. Yeah, and then this first picture, 2018 Pride, my first Pride. Yeah, that is a jump scare. I don't know what I was doing. Make a little bit of makeup, first time coming out, yeah, this was just so fun. And I had some amazing friends that I went to Pride with, it was just so much fun. That was such a good Pride, 2018. And then we get into 2020. This is just a picture of my sweater and my nails. Yeah, so this was the start of my college. Fall of 2020, my first year, freshman. Growing out my hair, got my nails done. Yeah, just kind of slowly, as if you couldn't tell, my transition has been very slow. Very slow. So here, again, playing with dyeing my hair and trying to dress a little more feminine, trying to figure that out, which I'm still figuring that out. I love an oversized cat eye glasses. Those are my favorite. And then we get into the more present time. So I did get FFS, the top half. I have done that. So this is the before picture. I'm not sure if you can tell. There's a little bit of a difference. So my brow was shaved. My hairline was brought down a little bit. And then they did lift up the skin to kind of do a subtle brow lift. Yeah. So they did that a little bit. So yeah. This was the before, right? Going into surgery. So I wasn't scared or nervous the months or weeks leading up to it. But the last 30 minutes before surgery was when I got anxious and nervous. And yeah, I just told the nurse at the time, the people helping me, I was just like, I'm getting a little nervous and scared. And they're like, okay, we'll give you something. And I don't know what drug they gave me, but that was chef's kiss. I was like, I'm ready. Knock me out. So there is the after. Yeah, not looking very great. Yeah, so like I said, this was just like the top half of FFS. I do have surgery later this year to get the bottom half. Yeah, and then that's just me recovering. Super tight, could not move my eyebrows. It was not a fun experience. Yeah, so this is 2024. Yeah, 2024, like I said, I love the oversized cat eye look. Makes me my face seem a little smaller because I am a large person. I am 6'4". Yeah, so this is kind of where I'm at now with my surgery or my transition. Let's see. I love the kind of messy hair, the wavy hair look. Yeah, I love that. The bangs are like the trans girl staple. My bangs right now are a bit long, so we're gonna have to get a haircut soon. Yeah, so this is kind of where I'm at now. This was, yeah, 2024. This was 16 years old, I think. Yeah, so this is kind of where I'm at now. Yeah, lately, I have been feeling insecure about my transition, where I'm currently at. My voice is my biggest insecurity right now. Absolutely hate it, which is something I will be working on in 2025. So yes, can't wait to kind of get that in motion. But what I was saying is I'm very insecure right now, but looking back at these previous pictures, I do feel a lot better looking at where I am now compared to where I was. Yeah, this was me in Iceland, super fun. This is me now, classic magic shirt. Gosh, I don't remember when this was. This was a few years ago. But yeah, this is kind of where I'm at now. I did not just turn 30. 2024, I turned 30. Yeah, I do love the wavy hair look. I want to start learning about how to take care of my hair and present that more wavy look. I love that wavy hair look. But yeah, I've been taking hormones since 2019, so 6 years. Like I said, my journey has been very slow, very kind of at my own pace, just taking my time with it. I know some people who just realize that they're trans and start transitioning, and then in 6 months or in a month or so they're presenting totally different and they're voice trained, and for me that hasn't been the case. Yeah, I'm very much taking my time, but these next couple of years I really want to step it up and work on my voice. I've got surgery later this year that I'm excited for. It's going to be the lower part of FFS, facial feminization surgery. Yeah, so that was me graduating my first bachelor's. Right now I'm working on my second bachelor's. Yeah, and then, oh my gosh, wearing a dress and heels is, oh my gosh, that is such a good feeling. I love wearing a dress and heels, especially going to the grocery store. I got hit on once wearing heels. I don't think it was this day, but it was a similar outfit where I got hit on at Target. and I've never been hit on before, and I didn't know what to do. And yeah, I just like said thank you and like went on with my day. But yeah, that I love. I like showing off my legs. I'm tall. Yeah, so this is kind of where I'm at now. Obviously, I'm not really done right now. My hair is terrible, but I really liked this picture. This was cute. Yeah, so I guess, like I said, I have a podcast where I want to start learning how to be more put together, more poised, and glamorous. My big inspiration in, I guess, my fashion and my how I want to be, my goals, right, would be like Maleficent and Cruella de Vil and what's her name, Meryl Streep's character in The Devil Wears Prada. Like, I love that, like that boss energy. Right, so that's what I want to work towards. Like Marilyn Monroe, who is that, Audrey Hepburn, like that very glamour, very sophisticated look. That's kind of what I want to be. So that is what I'm going to work towards. Yeah, and then this was my most recent picture. Like I think the other day, kind of where I'm at right now. Makeup game, I'm still not on point, but we're getting there. So yeah, that is my transition timeline. Past 5-6 years I've been on hormones, so I guess that's it. If you are interested in listening, following along on my journey, hit subscribe wherever you're watching or listening from. I guess I will see you around.